5 jaw-dropping ancient Greece facts that'll make you question humanity. Art, philosophy, and democracy. These are just a few achievements of the legendary civilization ancient Greece. Often it had been considered representative of human civilization in the old times, but was Greece really as wonderful as history textbooks want us to believe? Today we're taking a quick look at ancient Greece, Greek cities, and how the ancient Greeks pleased their gods. Their rituals were often no better than to be described as barbaric, but stay tuned and see for yourself. We bring you the most unheard and mind-blowing facts about ancient Greece and its society. So coat yourself in olive oil and grab your closest mates because it's time for 5 facts about ancient Greece. Before we get started though, remember to do the ancient Greece ritual of subscribing to the channel. Number 5. Eating earwax for treatment. A proper diagnosis is the most important part of a medical procedure. It can save a patient's life by giving them the right advice at the right time. But imagine, instead of asking you to pay for a bunch of medical tests, the doctor sticks his finger in your ear to scoop some wax and then eats it. Sounds disgusting. Well, that's how the ancient Greeks diagnosed illnesses. They believed that the taste of bodily fluids could cure diseases and make people feel better. And even more interesting, this disgusting method of diagnosis was a practice created by Hippocrates, where the Hippocratic Oath comes from. Number 4. Greek woman's and God. The life of a Greek woman was not easy at home. According to ancient Greek women, getting married was usually done at 12 to 14. I mean, it was pretty common in almost every ancient civilization to have people marrying in their teen years or sometimes even younger. Well, here's a catch. These guys were at least 30 years old. During ancient times, Greeks even liked to throw a celebration party with their god, Dionysus. So you might be thinking, how did they please the god of parties? Wine and fertility? Erect penises, aka phalluses? Lots and lots of penises. Once a year, the streets of Athens would be filled with massive, long phallic figures and statues of the god of parties and wine. Men and women would march around the streets holding huge, fat, and proud phalli above their heads. Some crazy followers would get drunk out of their minds to sing songs about the male penis and shout rude jokes at people as they went by. What a world women had to live in back then. Number 3. Medusa. This is one of the most terrifying women who ever existed. She wore snakes on her head as a punishment from goddess Athena. Medusa was so hideous that anyone who looked at her would be turned into stone. It seemed impossible to stop her, and this is why Polydectes asked Perseus to come back with her head, thinking that he would easily get rid of him. The hero was finally able to do it by using a reflected bronze shield that Athena gave to him. Perseus then escaped and when came back home used Medusa's head to turn Polydectes and his court into stone. You might think that this story is nothing but a myth, but you'll be surprised to know that something can actually end your life just by looking at it. It is the Chernobyl's elephant's foot, aka the real-life Medusa. After a disaster in the nuclear power plant in 1986, the core of the reactor began to melt and created a lava-like substance that was called the elephant's foot for its wrinkled appearance. The radiation level was so high that anyone who looked at it for more than 5 minutes would pass away for 2 days straight. This material will stay radioactive for the next 100,000 years. When we think about this, we prefer a woman with snakes on her head. Number 2. The harshest punishment. The harshest punishment dished out by the gods was given to Tantalus after trying to feed his son to the gods. He was chained up by Hades, aka god of the underworld, with some just food and water and would disappear after he reached turrets. He was also constantly starving but could never starve to death, so basically, he was there pretty much forever. Number 1. Stone wipes. During the ongoing pandemic, stockpiling of toilet paper became a massive concern. But how would you react if you saw somebody stocking up a pile of stones in front of their bathroom doorway? Baffling, isn't it? But if you were living in ancient Greece, this wouldn't be out of the ordinary as there was no toilet paper back then. So their substitute was a rather cold, hard, and rough stone. Like the Romans, the Greeks would sometimes clean themselves with a sponge attached to a stick, but not every Greek was so lucky. They kept a pile of pebbles in their toilets to rub it against their bodies to clean. The Greeks had a saying, 3 stones are enough to wipe. Ouch. But sometimes they would also get a little creative. To take out their anger on an enemy, they'd take broken wrecks of ceramic pots, scratch the name of their foes on it, and scrape their dirty butts with them. Now that's some next-level anger management technique. Anybody up for the test? Oh well, that was 5 facts about ancient Greece. I do hope you enjoyed it. Did you learn anything? Let us know the craziest fact in the comments below. See you in our next video.